So hi and welcome back, and I'm using my video camera today rather than my DSLR, and I've been thinking long and hard about kind of telling this story or trying to tell what happened to me back in 1992. So this is over 30 years ago this happened, and now I look back on it, it was just part of my life at the time. But before I do that, I just want to tell you what's happening. I've got two films away for processing. One of them is, I think, a Fuji Fuji-Color film, and the other one is one of the 250D Vision films as well. And I'm waiting for them to come back. And I've also got this one as well. I need to get it processed. Anyway, on with the video. And it's kind of a strange title, When the Police Took All My Slides, Negatives and Films, or something like that. That's what the title's going to be. And this dates back to 1992, and I was arrested for something I didn't do, and it kind of like messed with my life. I think it was about 8 weeks into 7 or 8 weeks in total. I'm not going to go into details about what the actual thing was, and other than I was moved away from my hometown, and I was then put in a bail hostel in Milton Keynes. And it took, I mean, when I got back from all this happening, it took a long while to get over it, but it's all history. And I just wanted to share with you the problems it caused with me as a photographer. So I was put in this bail hostel, and my mental health wasn't good at all. I was being given all sorts of different antidepressants and stuff like that, and sharing a room with people who clearly had their own issues. I don't want to go into any details about them, but obviously it was always like shared room accommodation. One of the guys I was shared with was arrested while I was there, and there was lots of different things going on, which from the background I had, I wasn't used to. I'm not going to show you any photographs in this actual video because this is about the photographs I have, the photos I haven't got anymore. So if this is long and rambling, it's probably best you skip past this video anyway. I should have said that at the start, but that's by the by. So it was, I think it was when this incident was going to happen, it was meant to be around Christmas 1991, and I wasn't arrested until, I think it was May or June in 1992. And as I say, then I was moved to this bail hostel for my own safety. But before I went there, because they couldn't find me a place to stay, I actually stayed at the Jesus Army headquarters for about 2 nights, which was an experience in itself. And obviously, if you put in the Jesus Army and look about them now, what happened to them, and why I felt very uncomfortable in being there, you can understand why now, looking back on it in retrospect. So I spent a couple of days with them, and it was just, it was an eye-opener. And it kind of gave you concerns about the people that were involved with that back then, and what happened to them. Another thing I look at is what happened to them, what are they doing now, because obviously of the issues. But that's something you'll have to look up. I might put a link to some links to some press coverage about what happened to him in this video. I'm not sure yet. As I say, I'm not even sure I'm going to put this video up. So I went through them. I'd have different court appearances and different things. I have to come back to Bedford. I wasn't allowed to come to Bedford other than if I was going to court. So I think I come twice to court, and I think my solicitor happened to be my mum's best friend, or one of my mum's closest friends, and she was supportive. She said, "This is ridiculous. You shouldn't have even been charged. You shouldn't have even been, moved out of Bedford. You've done nothing wrong." But that time, the feelings were quite like emotional. Like, I'm going to end up in prison. I'm going to do time for something I haven't done, and so on and so forth. And one morning, by this time, I'd been moved into a psychiatric unit because I just wasn't in a good place, and I got a call. I think I went back to the bail hostel. I think I've been discharged. I gone back to the bail hostel. Got a phone call saying they're dropping the charges. There's no evidence to prove you've done anything wrong, which was, I also don't. I don't think there's any need to go into what happened other than that. But when I got back, I found out that where my darkroom was, all of my negatives, slides, black and white colour, they'd all been taken by the police. So there was only a few that I've got, and I think you've probably seen them in previous videos when I've shown them taking, this is all stuff that's pre-91. The saddest part about it was I did a photo shoot for Photography magazine, and I think they were based in Hemel Hempstead. They don't exist anymore. And I had like a 6-page spread of my work, and all of the negatives that I had for that. There was one of the kids called Joe, which you've seen in previous videos, the photograph I took, and I've been to the part of London where I actually took the photograph. Those negatives were all gone. So my solicitor approached the police, and they said, well, no, we haven't got them, don't know what's happened to them. So I never actually got them back. So pretty much, other than a few negatives that were either at my flat or at my parents' house, everything was gone. So we, as I say, we were trying to get like information from people to prove that I had this, and the idea was we were going to take the police to court. It all fell through. The company, or the people I was working for at the time, were going to put through disciplinary action, and it was kind of strange because they actually slandered me in letter, and I went to see my solicitor and said, look at this. And she goes, oh, they slandered you. And I said, I thought that's what had happened. And she said, you're just not wealthy enough to sue them. She said, you'd win, no problem at all, if you could pay for it, but you can't pay for it, so, and you won't get any, this is not a criminal thing, it's something you do legally yourself. So that happened, and I was literally starting from scratch again. I still had the darkroom equipment, I still had the cameras and stuff, but I'd lost everything. So what I want to say to you in this is, if any of you have seen a copy of Photography magazine, I believe it was January 1992, and it's like a burgundy cover. I think there's a small photograph of one of my photographs on the front cover, and there's also I think my name's on the front cover as well. I've been trying for years to track one down. I've been on eBay and different things like that to try and get a copy, but without success. So if any of you come across one, I'd love to hear from you. And if you made it this far down the video, thank you very much. As I say, it's a different kind of video this week. I've been so busy with work, and I've been away and stuff. So I thought, what could I do? What could I do? And I thought about this idea, and that's why I'm doing it today. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'm probably not going to have the comments switched on in this one because it's just, I don't know, I just don't feel happy about people speculating on my past, but I wanted to tell you the story anyway. All right, see you soon.